She asked why I was smiling. She regretted it seconds later. I was smiling because, for the first time in months, I finally understood everything. Not from her words. Those had always been carefully chosen, but from the silence between them. The cracks she tried to fill with half-truths. The way her phone screen tilted away when I entered the room. When she asked, "Why are you smiling like that?" I almost laughed. Because the truth had stopped hurting, it had simply gone numb. 2 weeks earlier, I would have sworn my wife, Amelia, was incapable of betrayal. She had that softness in her voice, that kind of gentle presence that made people trust her without question. I used to joke that if an angel ever took human form, it would look a lot like her. Freckles, quiet laughter, always smelling faintly of lavender. But even angels, I've learned, can lie. Started small. A distance I couldn't name. She'd come home late from work, blaming extra meetings or client calls. Her tone always just believable enough. I didn't want to be the paranoid husband. I told myself love means trust. I told myself she was tired. That she still loved me. Until one night, I heard her whisper a name in her sleep. Nathan. First I thought it was a dream. Just a meaningless fragment. But the way she smiled afterward in her sleep broke something inside me. Nathan. The name lingered sour and heavy until I started noticing little things. The new perfume she wore, the secretive texting, the way she suddenly guarded her phone like it held the nuclear codes. So I smiled that day not because I was happy but because I finally had proof. It happened on a rainy Thursday. The kind of gray afternoon that makes the city look like it's sighing. I had taken a half day from work. Told my boss I wasn't feeling well. I parked my car 2 blocks away from Amelia's office, near the little cafe where she always said she grabbed coffee between meetings. My plan was simple. I'd bring her lunch. Surprise her. The kind of small gesture we used to love. But surprises have a way of turning into truths you wish you never found. I spotted her easily, her brown coat, her familiar walk. Except she wasn't alone. Nathan was with her. I didn't know him then, but I didn't need an introduction. I saw the way his hand brushed hers. The way she leaned in just slightly, laughing in that quiet, intimate way she used to with me. When she kissed him, softly, quickly but undeniably, I didn't move. I didn't scream. I just watched as the rain soaked through my shirt and the lunch bag slipped from my hand. That was the moment something inside me died, quietly like a candle going out in the dark. For days I said nothing. I didn't confront her, didn't explode. I just observed. I wanted to see how long she'd keep lying. At dinner, she'd ask how my day was, smiling with that same mouth that had kissed someone else. I'd nod and say, "Fine." At night, she'd curl up beside me, her head on my chest, while I stared at the ceiling wondering if she was thinking about him. And yet, I couldn't stop loving her. That was the cruelest part. Love doesn't just vanish when betrayal shows up. It lingers, confused and bleeding. Then came the moment she'd regret. It was Sunday morning. The air smelled of coffee and burnt toast. Amelia was sitting by the kitchen window, scrolling through her phone, smiling at something. I stood by the counter sipping my coffee, watching her. That's when she looked up and caught my expression. "Why are you smiling like that?" she asked, her tone playful, oblivious. I set the mug down and said quietly, "I finally get it." She blinked. "Get what?" "That people don't just stop loving you overnight. They start loving someone else instead." Her smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" I pulled my phone from my pocket. "Press play." Her laughter filled the room, the same laugh I'd recorded the day I followed her. And then Nathan's voice. "I can't believe we're doing this." Followed by her reply, soft and unmistakable. "He'll never find out." Amelia froze. Color drained from her face. Her phone slipped from her hand and clattered to the floor. "Michael," she whispered. "Please, it's not what you think." I smiled again, but it wasn't the kind of smile that reaches your eyes. "Then what is it, Amelia?" Because it sounds a lot like my wife telling another man that her husband's a fool. Tears welled up in her eyes. She reached for me, but I stepped back. The distance between us felt wider than it ever had before. Michael, I was confused, she stammered. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. I laughed. Quietly, bitterly. You kissed him, Amelia. You met him. You lied to my face. Don't insult me by calling it nothing. She covered her face, sobbing. I didn't want to hurt you. But you did, I said. Every time you came home smelling like him, every time you said you loved me, you were killing something you couldn't even see. Her tears fell faster. I thought I could fix it. I ended it weeks ago. Please, Michael, I swear I did. I was scared. And yet, I said, nodding toward the phone still on the floor, you were texting him just this morning. Her shoulders crumpled. She didn't deny it. Silence hung heavy in the room, the kind that swallows air. I turned away, not because I didn't want to see her cry, but because I knew if I looked at her any longer I'd break. That night I packed a bag. She begged me not to go. Followed me through the hallway, clinging to my arm, sobbing, whispering, please, we can fix this. Love you. I made a mistake. I stopped at the door, looked back at her. The woman I once thought I'd grow old with. You didn't make a mistake, Amelia, I said softly. You made a choice. And I walked out. The next few days were a blur. I stayed with a friend. Didn't answer her calls. Didn't read her messages, though I saw the notifications pile up. Please come home. Please talk to me. I'll do anything. It was strange how empty the world felt without her. Even after everything. Every song, every smell, every shadow in my apartment seemed to whisper her name. But beneath the ache, something else began to grow, clarity. I realized I had spent months trying to convince myself that our love was unbreakable. That if I just tried harder, trusted more, she'd come back to me. But love doesn't survive betrayal. It merely limps until you put it out of its misery. A week later she showed up at my door. Her eyes were swollen, her voice trembling. I just want to talk, she said. I hesitated, then let her in. She stood in the middle of the room like she didn't belong there anymore. I ended it, she said. For good this time. I told him never to contact me again. I've been going to therapy. I'm trying to understand why I did what I did. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I need you to know I'm sorry. I looked at her, really looked at her. She wasn't the same woman I had loved, but there was still something painfully human in her eyes. Regret, shame, desperation. I believe you, I said quietly. She blinked, surprised. You do? Yes. But believing you doesn't mean I can love you again. She broke down right there, her sobs echoing off the walls. I didn't move to comfort her. Not out of cruelty, but because I knew. Some lessons can't be softened. When she finally looked up, her face streaked with tears, she whispered, Do you still think about me? I smiled again, the same quiet smile that had started it all. Every day, I said. But not the way you want me to. Now, months later, I still find myself smiling sometimes. People think it's because I've moved on that I'm happy. But the truth is, it's not happiness. It's acceptance. Because sometimes, the most peaceful smile you can wear is the one that comes after you've lost everything, and survived anyway. And if she ever asks me again why I'm smiling, I'll tell her the truth. I'm smiling because you taught me that love without honesty isn't love at all.